The film you're about to watch, I produced as part of my final major project in my last year at Southampton Solent University. I was joined by director Kim Hills, cameraman Jack Clayton and editor Victoria Baxter. Now originally this was produced for a limited run of DVDs that were sent out to those who graciously sponsored us financially for the project. However, with the passing of time, a number of new faces, new people have inquired about where they can watch the documentary, so I've decided to let it out into the wilds. Now, just bear in mind, this was produced in 2016. In fact, it was finished in summer that year. So a lot has changed since then, so just as I say, bear that in mind when you're watching it. Nonetheless, I hope that you enjoy Secrets of the Mighty Theatre Organ.
I'm John Mann, and I'm seated at the organ, the Compton organ, of the Plaza Stockport. They were used for accompanying silent films and variety shows. The organ replaced these small orchestras that started it. If you were accompanying a film, he would have to know the scenario of the film that he was taking place, and sometimes of course there was music specially written for the film. It was quite an art. And then of course you've got the various moods of the music that went with the screen.
My name's Kevin Grunill, and I'm a concert organist and organ restorer. We're here at the Astoria Centre, which is a new venture here on the outskirts of Barnsley. And one of the nice things with this venue is that we've created a venue out of an empty space, basically. Over the past 5 years or so, we've been restoring and rebuilding an organ that was installed at the City School in Sheffield. The organ came here to what was our workshop building at the time, and we, over a period of 5 years, restored every part of the organ, from some small, minute parts to some of the largest parts, including the console. One of the main things that interests me about this particular type of organ, and it goes back to the enthusiasts for the days of steam, really. A steam engine is a living, breathing item. You know, it breathes fire, it bleeds steam. This type of instrument, I think, is very much similar to that, in that what you nature in the organ's resources is what you actually get out as the end result.
A lot of them were, thankfully, due to society, people, groups getting together and saving the situation. And it was the same with variety. I mean, that stopped at the same time, really. It was because, you know, lack of interest, really. a lot of people, of course, don't know that that's where it started, because there's been so many cinema organ transplants now. You find them all over the place in people's houses.
Hi, my name is Byron Jones, and I'm known as the Welsh Wizard. This year I'm celebrating 51 years as a professional player, musician and entertainer. We have here a little two-manual Wurlitzer pipe organ. It's 1925. It started its life in North America from a theatre in North New York State. It was Gowanda, and the cinema or theatre was called the Hollywood. It was reinstalled into a friend's house in Tonawanda, 1976. Him and his wife, they really restored it. Unfortunately, the husband passed away, and we brought this back from America. So I'm very pleased to say that the organ is all original. The electric blower, the motor unit, the relay stack that operates the switching, the keying for between this and the pipe work is all original. And we have a gem here.
I came in on the cinema organ in the 50s, and it was beginning to wane then, but the organist was quite a performer in his own right. They became sort of like pop idols in those days, all the Reginalds and that sort of ilk.
I remember as a boy, when I used to go to Blackpool, often used to walk out to sea when the tide had gone out, and there was a roundabout that played a lot of these old melodies. One was, I remember, was Yip-I-Haddy-I-A-I-A, and the other one was I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside. I always used to join up with a band with this tune. I think everybody knows it. We call it Fascination, anyhow.
I'm Michael Woodridge. I'm resident organist here at the East Sussex National near Uckfield, where we're very lucky to have Europe's largest Wurlitzer pipe organ. Blackpool Tower for dancing, I think, was made popular by Reginald Dixon more than anyone, who was resident there for about 40 years. Always with support, usually with the big bands, which is wonderful. People like Ken McIntosh was there with him, and Eric Delaney with his fabulous band with the big timpanis and the cymbals and stuff. Wonderful, wonderful times. More recently, we've got Phil Kelsall's been resident, I think, for nearly as long, or I think it's 39 years now. Phil's been there, which is an incredible residency with a team of organists supporting him, and it's still really popular. I started playing the organ really because my dad was interested, and he had a small electronic organ at home that I got started on one day when I was ill, actually. Wanted something to do, he wrote me out a scale of music, and off I went playing. Never stopped since, really. Here at East Sussex National, we're very lucky to have a very strong following for the dances. We usually get about 80 to 100 people, which for the size of our floor means it's full up, basically. We sometimes have more. Last time, in fact, there was about 130 in, which was too many, to be honest. But it was lovely, had a wonderful atmosphere because it was so busy and full up.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, dancers. Thank you. A change of pace, a nice fast jive for the next one, a bit of rock and roll.
Play for dancing, it is really, from my perspective, it's all 30s and 40s music, the big band music, the music of Glenn Miller and Tommy Dorsey and those sort of people, because it suits the instrument, it suits the style of dancing. It's absolutely ideal. A larger instrument is actually easier to play than a small instrument, and that's because you've got lots of tone colours to choose from, so there's lots of options to make new sounds. It's not as easy as in a concert, because in a concert you can use the whole spectrum from an absolute whisper through to a full organ, whereas in dancing you've got to keep it more generally level in sound. But there's still odd moments, perhaps in a nice romantic slow foxtrot to do something tasteful, and quiet and soft.
It's live music, and there's nothing like dancing to live music. Nowadays, there's no such things as big bands like there used to be, so this is a good substitute.
Oh, it's the music that lifts you up, you can hear it, and also Michael plays some of the favourites of the old times. It just brings back memories. It really is. He's really good, and the Wurlitzer is so special.
People just come to listen, which is quite nice because they can enjoy the whole atmosphere, which is fabulous for the dancers. It's such a wonderful venue and it's all really happy and cheerful, and they just have a nice afternoon out just listening and perhaps having a cream tea.
Well, here we are now inside the pipe chambers, or the pipe rooms, of the Compton organ. All the sound is produced from hundreds, if not thousands, of pipes located in a separate room called the organ chamber. And that's exactly where we are at this moment in time. We have two of the reed pipes. The little one here is called a kinura, and the one at the back is the orchestral oboe. Towards the back wall we have some of the big bass pipes. Those produce the low pitches of the organ. In an instrument such as this, if you wanted a certain type of sound, you actually had to have that particular instrument. We create a venue that has round-the-clock 24/7 access. It enables us to not only work on the organ, but to show others what work needs to be done on the organ. You can then have theatre organ tuition on the instrument, because basically you have 24/7 access to the actual building.
To the winner of the competition, the Young Theatre Organist of the Year 2015, Declan Paul.
I am Declan Poole, and I am the 2015 winner of the Young Theatre Organist of the Year competition. When I was younger, we always went to Blackpool Tower as a family, and I heard the organ there and decided to teach myself to play. Since then, I have been having professional lessons with Kevin Grunnell at the Astoria Centre in Barnsley. The competition has helped me meet lots of other young organists and has let me play lots of instruments I wouldn't have played otherwise. I was both excited and nervous before I went on. I'd never heard any of the others play and didn't know what to expect. I think the organ is a very interesting instrument and can play more music than most instruments can. It can do a wide variety of sounds. For around 10 years there hasn't been anyone playing the organ that's young, so it's good to see that there is more people learning to play now. Until recently, home organs were never very realistic, but thanks to new technology you can almost recreate a theatre organ in your home. A virtual organ is run on a computer and there is many different softwares you can download. However, the most popular one is Helper. Most of the new virtual organs are very realistic because they are actual recordings of each pipe of a real organ. They are then played back through a computer using a home organ.
But the new technology, the virtual organs, I think they've done a fantastic job. When you play in that, it's as good as playing any theatre pipe organ. But with respect, it has its limitation. But then when you come and play the real thing, you're then spoiled.
We had a wonderful weekend on the opening weekend, 2 full houses, loads of people, first-time visitors to anything like this. I think they were astounded walking into a warehouse complex, walking into an auditorium, seeing the organ all lit up, the sound, the atmosphere. That happened on the 2 shows on the Saturday, and then we had an open day on the Sunday. It's been a lot of hard work over the past 5 years or so. Lots of sleepless nights, lots of very late night, or should we say early morning working sessions. I've often been here till 2:30 in the morning, gone home, had a bit of sleep, and then back again at 9 with the rest of the team working on the organ. So hopefully I get a little bit more sleep these days. Get more younger people involved from a playing aspect, also from a maintenance technical aspect. There's no point having some wonderful theatre organs about if no one knows how to maintain them anymore. And when I say younger people, I mean possibly like the under 40-year-olds who come down here. They see inside the chambers and go, wow, this is amazing. We never knew anything like this existed, which of course they didn't. So it's new to them. It's not a case of nostalgia to a new generation. It's totally creating new memories. We started the project with 6 of us on the team. We now have over 24 people. Without their wonderful work and interest, then none of this would have been possible at all. So we're really indebted to all the volunteers here at the Astoria. So our next project is the restoration of our Wurlitzer organ, which is a 3-manual, 8-rank Wurlitzer, originally housed at the Granada Theatre in Bedford. Now we've decided to actually install it here at the Astoria, alongside not only this instrument, but another Compton that's waiting in the wings, and hopefully will be the only venue in the world with 2 Comptons and a Wurlitzer organ as well. The thing with an instrument like this, it really does grasp you with both hands and pull you into the instrument. It's a living, breathing item, and I think that's what makes it all special.